the #1 quarterback in the 2024 class, Dylan Raiola, has committed to the Georgia Bulldogs. Was also considering USC, was considering Nebraska. He had the family ties there. Lincoln Riley is a quarterback whisperer. All he does is produce Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks. He decided, no, I want to go to Georgia. And this to me is just like Kirby Smart, again, solidifying that he is him, first of all. Also, Kirby Smart is like that neighbor that lives across the street from you, and he just continues to one-up you. Like the tweets that I saw yesterday from folks in the media or folks that were fans that were just dripping with sarcasm, saying, oh, good for Georgia. Now they're finally going to start to win some games. Good for Georgia. Now maybe they'll have some players they can be successful with. Kirby Smart's that neighbor across the street who, you got a new car? Oh, that's great. You got the 2021 model. He's got the 2022 model sitting in the garage. Also, the 2023 model is on the way. You just got some improvements to the backyard. That's awesome. He just got a new pool in the backyard. You got a 4-star quarterback. He's got a 4-star quarterback and a 5-star quarterback committed in the 2024 class. That's who Kirby Smart is. That's what Georgia is right now. And what does this mean for the future? That's what we really got to talk about here. Because it's a big get for Georgia, obviously getting a 5-star player. There's no way around that. But what does this mean in terms of the ripple effect for Georgia? My first thought when looking at this is the fact that Georgia now, as an offense, will continue to be able to evolve. Because think about what Georgia has been historically. They scored 40 points a game last year. I started scrolling through the statistical pages of what Georgia had been offensively, and I stopped at 1996 trying to find the last time they had scored 40 points. I was like, it's been over 20 years since they have scored 40 points a game. That whole theme about, hey, the defense is going to carry us, we'll be a defensive-led team, that's not going to be the case anymore. Now, notice what I did not say. I did not say the defense at Georgia won't still be ridiculously good. This is not a commentary on the defense. What I'm saying is, remember in 2021 where it felt like it was the defense that won them the national title. And Stetson Bennett played a role, upped his game tremendously in 2022 and allowed them to be successful then. But the whole defensive-led team, the defense is going to have to pull the offense along. That's not going to be the case anymore. The defense pulling the offense along, that's over there in a moving box, packed up in the attic, and it's got a national title in that moving box, don't get it twisted, but that's not going to be how they get down going forward. Because you look at this quarterback room for the future, you'll have a 4-star kid in Gunnar Stockton. You'll have a 4-star kid that's also committed in the 2024 class in Ryan Puglisi. And now you got a 5-star kid in Dylan Raiola, also committed in the 2024 class. And Twitter is so bad for our health because we're toxic. Dylan Raiola commits to Georgia, and everybody and their mother that's not a Georgia fan starts saying, oh, well, how long till someone else transfers out? How long till Dylan Raiola transfers out? How long till Ryan Puglisi transfers out? First of all, Ryan Puglisi is a program guy. And when asked about Dylan Raiola committing, and they asked him about transferring or asked about if his commitment's going to stick, he just said nothing changes. Obviously, they're not asking Ryan Puglisi about transferring, but asking if his commitment will stick, he said nothing changes. I love that. You got to compete anywhere you go, man. Ryan Puglisi not scared to compete. But going back to the point here, Stockton, Puglisi, Raiola, all in that quarterback room. Even if somebody does end up transferring out down the line, you're set. 2 4-stars and a 5-star. You're set from where I'm sitting. So as an offensive coordinator, the mindset I think you have with any of these guys playing quarterback for you, it's different than what the old thought process used to be at Georgia. There used to be the thought process of, what can we call here? What can we call offensively? Now with any of these guys, you're calling, what do we want to call here? And that's not to say they haven't still recruited the quarterback position well in previous years. They have. Justin Fields, Jacob Eason, Jake Fromm. They've recruited the quarterback position well. But even so, now I think they have the system in place along with the quarterback to where, what do we want to call? That's the conversation we're having now. And for the sake of this conversation with Dylan Raiola having committed yesterday, let's talk about what he brings to the table. I mean, you watch him on tape. I believe his highlights were playing just a second ago. Dude is Huck Finn. Has a rocket for an arm. He's like the stretchy Spider-Man, the way he's throwing the awkward arm angles on the off-platform throws. He's rolling left, throwing right, and just launching missiles deep. That's the kind of player you have with Dylan Raiola. Very physically developed, about 6'3", 230. the people that are close to that recruitment talk about how they love that he kind of carries himself like a pro. He just kind of goes about his business. Great football IQ, can check you in and out of plays. There's a lot of great articles on on3.com right now. Matt Zenitz has got a phenomenal article about what's being said about Dylan Raiola. Director of Scouting and Rankings, Charles Power, he's got an article about what Dylan Raiola brings to the table from a scouting perspective. Like, go check all that out, because I promise you it's worth the read. Really quickly, make sure you're locked in right here. Subscribe to the On3 YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram, @JDPiquel. Appreciate you for that. Okay. So where is Georgia at right now? I just told you, Dylan Raiola, if he ends up being your starter, the offense just has options upon options upon options in terms of what you can call with him at quarterback. Playbook is wide open. Whatever you want to call, you got it with Dylan Raiola playing quarterback for you. So we take a step back now, going back to what this means for Georgia, and I think this is further proof that now Georgia's at a point where the brand just recruits itself. And what I mean by that is people commit to Bama because of Saban and because of that script A. Now people are committing to Georgia in the same way because of that G and because of Kirby Smart. They're committing to the process, because I promise you, the coordinators are going to change. We've already seen it. Dan Lanning to Oregon, Todd Monken to the league. We've already seen a little bit of churn at the coordinator spot, but Kirby Smart is who and what they are committing to. That is factual. Georgia is at a point where the brand now recruits these kids. It's like BMW, man. You see a lot of BMW commercials? Me neither. There's a reason why people are still buying BMW cars like they're going out of style. Because of the brand. You know what you're getting when you look at that BMW. Same thing with Georgia. You go to Georgia, you know what you're getting. National titles, development, playing for one of the best, if not the best coach in the last 2 years for college football, just the modern era. Not taking anything away from Saban. I'm just saying, Kirby Smart right now, I said it before, he's that guy. He is that guy. So what does this mean now going forward for Georgia? The brand recruits itself. Georgia's rolling. Dylan Raiola, 5-star kid, number one quarterback in the 2024 class. Like, there's a lot to unpack here. This is not some sort of grand finale, though, for Georgia. Remember last year, right around this time, I guess it was maybe closer to June, Arch Manning commits to Texas. And then what did we see? Just an avalanche of other top players saying, I want to go play with Arch. I want to go play with Arch Manning. Same thing now with Dylan Raiola. Same thing. There's a lot of big-time players that are going to want to go play with him. Jeremiah Smith, Ohio State commit, has already said, yeah, I got to take a look at Georgia now, man. I got to go take a look at the Dogs because I like what Dylan Raiola brings to the table. Having a solid quarterback, a more than solid quarterback, a 5-star quarterback that can throw me the rock, yeah, maybe I want to go play with that dude. Maybe I want to at least take a second look at Georgia. So keep an eye out for that. Georgia's not done. They got the number 1 class right now, according to the On3 industry rankings for the 2024 cycle. We got a long way to go till we get to that early signing period in December. But the way that I'm looking at this thing, I don't see Georgia letting go of that top spot anytime soon. I think they got it very, very firmly, like ball security. They got it high and tight right now. I don't think Georgia's letting go of that anytime soon. So Dylan Raiola, he is a dog on the field. He's going to be a dog in college. He's going to be playing for the Georgia Bulldogs when he gets to college. So enormous get for Georgia. Further proof the brand recruits itself. Kirby Smart, yet again, proving he's that guy. This is a big get for Georgia. Number 1 quarterback is off the board in the 2024 class. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.